Laker basketball is back after 135 days from the NBA campus in Orlando. It's the Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks. Welcome, everybody. I'm Chris McGee, broadcasting from our Spectrum Sportsnet studios in El Segundo, California, as we take a look at the starting lineups for your Los Angeles Lakers. Coming in at 49 and 14, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, Danny Green, and sliding into that spot that was once occupied by Avery Bradley will be Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And
you know, less turnovers. You got to see if they're able to run offense properly, defense properly. You're looking to see just how quickly they can get in sync and do what the coaches have asked them to do. You're not looking for a whole lot of offense, not a whole.
For Dallas, he's at 45% from three, second best in the NBA behind George Hill. And AD.
Probably being 100% healthy, having some time off to achieve that.
Yeah, James, remember like earlier in the season, he kept kind of touching his shoulder. He kind of tweaked it a little bit, stretched it a little bit. Kind of bothered him for.
Doncic and Porzingis. Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks building their future around those two.
Pretty good twosome right there.
It's not bad, Bryce.
Yeah, by the way, this game is 7 minutes left. It might seem a little more quickly, going a little more quickly than it really is. 10-minute quarters for only this first scrimmage game.
You have so much to focus on that you really aren't looking into the crowd. Maybe if there's a free throw or something like that. So the sound should sound real and a little familiar to them, hopefully.
And Geeter, the biggest difference in those games, the offense. LA just rose up the chart there in terms of how they were playing on that end of the floor, ranking 4th in offensive efficiency. They did drop some defensively, as you see Green hitting the three. And so
Danny Green, catch and shoot from the corner. He knocks it down. Very familiar spot for Dallas fans. They remember November 1st versus Dallas. Boban went for 31 and 17. Porzingis did not play that game. He was resting his sore knee, so Boban absolutely can get it done. As KCP does a nice job getting in the lane and throwing it up for Anthony Davis. Danny Green high off the glass. Dion Waiters. Waiters step back. And Waiters.
Eater, walking bucket. Philly cheese is what they call it.
Waiters.
You'll see some of that from Kuz and AD also. It's not just going to be the guards like Caruso, like Waiters. Those guys can make plays in the half court as well.
First quarter winds down. Dion Waiters, say hello to Los Angeles Lakers and their fans. Waiters with another three. And a little pose at the end. Dwight loves it. The fellas love it. And the fans have been waiting for a chance to see Dion Waiters in a Laker uniform, and not a bad start. Made a great argument that day. We had Kevin Ding on the show. I was voting for Brandon Ingram, but you definitely made a case for Luka, and there's a number of players who just continue to improve. That's the beauty of the NBA, as Kyle Kuzma gets to a spot, hits the mid-range jumper.
Something that the Lakers are going to have to think about more as they get into the postseason, whether that's against Dallas or some of the other opponents that can go small in that sense by having a big out on the perimeter.
I can breathe on them or it's a fire. So I'd like to see the game get back a little bit to where you can, tag them a little bit.
LeBron James taking advantage of the mismatch with Jackson. Doncic, screen from Boban. LeBron doing a nice job. Oh, nice give and go, but it's intercepted. Lakers doing a nice job getting their hands in the passing lane. Dwight Howard, up top, bang. Timeout Dallas, 44-36. Lakers, second best team in the NBA in fast break points, and here's why. LeBron James, Dwight. Kuz, Danny Green, KCP, AD, and LeBron. Backdoor cut along the baseline. What a pass from LeBron James to Kyle Kuzma in the dunk. 50-38.
A lot of weapons, Gator. And I think LeBron is smart enough to know that he can create more weapons. There's the big weapon right there, AD from downtown.
I see Kuz getting very confident. A little bit slow in the last few weeks going into the shutdown. Speaking of confidence, How about that?
That started with a breakup of a pass, Brez, KCP, and LeBron James in transition. Just forget about it, Allie. And it trickled down. You see it in every part of the organization.
Yeah, and Chris, one of the things that we talked about a lot over these 4 months, and it's crazy that it's been 4 months, right, since we last had the basketball, as Trail gets one.
How about that, Mike, right there? Get up and bang it.
We all knew that he was going to find a way to be in the best shape of anybody in Orlando. He just knows what to do. He knows his body. He's been working out really hard, and I think we saw it there in that first half.
Yeah, Kuz is the one guy still here, and people so badly want him to be that number 3 guy. Kuz has had to learn on that great pass to JaVale McGee how to fit with this team and put championship aspirations as the number 1 goal. He's done
in this, and not just being a passive participant in all of this. You know, Tim Harris, the president of the Lakers, and Jeannie Buss, of course, the owner, were really guest speakers from around the country. A lot of professors and educators and journalists. So it's really been eye-opening, and I think that it's something that's been very important for the Lakers.
Big game, James. You know, you and I have talked on the phone over these past few months about all kinds of issues and social injustices, and I've talked to you and reached out to you, and we've talked about Dion Waiters. Waiters only played in 3 games this year for Miami. And Waiters hits the 17-footer, 69-61. Played at Michigan. He has been great for this Dallas team, especially over the last 20 games. It's Kuz.
Swish.
Almost big game. THT, not afraid. Kuz, offensive rebound.
Playing at that point, too, that he would get him back into the lineup. But, yeah, secondary ball handling, that is the thing that Rondo did the most of. You see Dion Waiters there creating a play for Dwight Howard. That is one thing that Frank Vogel is excited about the prospect of seeing, because Dion can take players off the dribble. He can get into the paint again, as you just saw. So I know a lot of Laker fans got a chance to this season. He can play basketball. You talk to some of the Laker players, they're aware of it, because he was really good in training camp. And that's a guy who Frank Vogel could call on, and maybe there's another one, Taylor Horton-Tucker.
And there's his first 2 points, back-to-back, Kaycock, and then THT. And the fellas are loving it. Quinn Cook in the game with J.R. Smith, THT, Dwight, and Devontae Kaycock. And right there, J.R. sees Dwight Howard for the alley-oop. Good defense by Kaycock. He was the CAA Conference Defensive Player of the Year when he was in college. THT to the rack, laying up and in.
Still haven't added quite all the game elements yet. For this game, there was no player introductions beforehand. There was no national anthem. That'll be the same for the next 2 scrimmages, but then they will gradually add those elements.
It's great to see these guys at the big club. JR, and 1. And his teammates are happy. A team like Portland making Western Conference Finals, no one's even talking about him right now. They got Zach Collins and Nurkic back. And they got a guy named Dame Time. Round the back, JR. Antetokounmpo with his bucket. We take a look at JR's play. Oh, he plays defense too, Allie, James, and Brez. A little behind the back. And just like October, guys, when it's the preseason, I'm already ready for the real thing.
Well, Giddy, you know, this will be our first time in the playoffs in some time. So.
Oh, man. THT getting his hands on the ball, strips it from Boban. Lakers are down 5 with 28 seconds. JR's going to shoot a 3.
Rich.
And he makes it, and the Lakers are down just 2. To Quinn Cook, reminder, stick around if you're watching Spectrum Sportsnet right now. Post-game show coming up next. You'll hear from the Lakers and Vogel.
Yeah, talk to
Allie, Brez, big game. Quinn Cook, down 2, 5 seconds. And that's going to do it for the first scrimmage for the Lakers here on the NBA campus in Orlando. And Dallas will win 108-106. No, maybe that didn't count. 108-104. Everyone's walking out of there healthy. That's a good sign. Anthony Davis 12 points in 15 minutes. Danny Green saying hello. Boban with a great game for Dallas, 17 points off the bench. Leading the way for Dallas, Seth Curry, 6 for 6 from 3 and 23 points.